If I go this way across the golf ball as a right-handed player, what's it going to do? Or the ping pong ball, it's going to spin to the left. And if I go this way across the ping pong ball, it's going to spin to the right. And remember, the spin to the left, or going this way, is what we desire when we hit a draw shot. So as a right-handed golfer, I'm going to have to get that club traveling out to the right more. Hey everyone, in this video we're going to talk about how to draw the driver in golf. I'm going to give you a couple simple setup adjustments you can make, as well as a swing adjustment that'll have you drawing it in no time at all. But before we get to that, I've really enjoyed bringing this free content to you, and our YouTube community, it's growing, and I want it to continue to grow, and you can help me with that by liking this video when it's over, subscribing to my YouTube channel, thanking me, which is a great new feature on YouTube which allows you to contribute to the ongoing success of my YouTube channel. And as always, please comment. These things help in more ways than you know. Okay, so the first thing we need to talk about is what is a draw shot in golf, and more importantly, how do I create one? So a draw shot, I'm going to do it both ways. I'm going to do it left-handed and right-handed. So for a left-handed golfer like myself, a draw shot is a ball that starts to the left and moves back to the right. And for a right-handed golfer, it'll be exactly the opposite. So this would start to the right and come back to the left, or draw back to the left. So as I said, more importantly is, how do I make this happen? And I think what we should do is we should go back and visit ball flight laws. They're a good place to start to help us to understand why the ball does what it does when we hit it. So remember, the most important variable for the starting direction of the golf ball is the club face. So if this face is square at impact, the initial projection is going to be straight, might curve once it gets out there. We'll talk about that next. If it's pointed left, the ball is going to launch left. Again, it can curve. And if it's pointed right, again, this is at impact, the ball is going to launch to the right and it can curve when it gets out there. So now let's talk about the spin or curve on the golf ball, because that's what this video is really about. And to help you understand that, and what I use at my golf school a lot, is I have a ping pong paddle here, and I have a golf ball. We'll pretend it's a ping pong ball, but think if we were playing ping pong and I were to go, doing it left-handed first, if I were to go this way across the ping pong ball, in this case the golf ball, what happens? We see it spin this way. And if I were to go the other way across the ping pong ball, we see it go this way. And remember, for a left-handed golfer, that's the draw. So I'm going to have to, golf club, golf ball works exactly the same. So if I can get my golf club going this way across the back of the golf ball, or scratching across the back of the golf ball, I'll see that draw shot that so many of us desire. And we desire it for a few reasons. One is it always seems like it's hit just a little more solid. It just feels like a more powerful shot when I'm attacking the ball a little bit more from the inside. And then using things like TrackMan, which I have set up here today so I can show you some things as I hit shots through this video, we see that it tends to be a lower spin shot. So when it gets out there and it lands on the ground, it'll tend to run out a little bit more than what we see with like a wipey, fadey, spinny sort of shot where it hits the fairway or in the rough and it just kind of stops dead as it lands. So the next thing I want to do is I want to go over the spin of the golf ball, the ping pong ball. Just to be fair, I'm going to do it right hand as well. So ping pong ball, ping pong paddle, golf ball, ping pong paddle. If I go this way across the golf ball as a right-handed player, what's it going to do? Or the ping pong ball, it's going to spin to the left. And if I go this way across the ping pong ball, it's going to spin to the right. And remember, the spin to the left, or going this way, is what we desire when we hit a draw shot. So as a right-handed golfer, I'm going to have to get that club traveling out to the right more. And as a left-handed golfer, I'm going to have to get that club head traveling out to the left more. So let's get into, first of all, some simple setup things I can do to start to see this ball travel, for me, left-handed golfer, more left to right, or create more of a draw pattern. So the first thing I want to talk about is what grip adjustment can I make? And whether you're left or right-handed, we would benefit from having the grip a little stronger. Remember, stronger, I've talked about it in other videos, is moving the grip away from the target. So I'm doing this left hand, my target's over here. I'm moving both hands away, so my right hand's more on top, my left hand's more under. If I'm a right-handed golfer, complete opposite. I'm going this way now. I'm moving both hands still, left and right hand, away from the target. So my left hand's going to be more on top, my right hand is going to be more under the club. How does this help to hit a draw? Well, one thing that I have to do is I have to make sure that the club face is right of where I'm swinging the club of the head, or is pointed right. Because remember, go back to the ball flight laws, that where the face is pointing is the most important variable for the starting direction of the golf ball. And I see this a lot when people are trying to fix their own swing, try to get the club coming more from the inside, is they don't fix the face component of it, so they start swinging more into out or out to the left for a left-handed golfer, but they continue to point the club face that way. Well, guess what? If my path and my face are going to the left, the ball's going to follow. Everything's going to go left. So with this stronger grip, as I start to learn to swing more from the inside or out to the left, it will create a nice squaring component of the club face. So my club face will be pointed more this direction where I want the ball to go. And then as the club continues to travel out to the left, that'll put the scratch across the back of it, induce the spin that I'm looking for to see this ball move left to right. So, little grip change, get it stronger. Not one hand, both hands, both right and left hand. For me, lefty, moving it away from the target. Righty, opposite way around, still moving it away from the target. Now, another thing, if I'm going to swing to the left, one thing that helps me to do it is just to point my body that way. And when I say my body, it's really more my shoulders. The trajectory of the club tends to follow your elbows. So if I can close my shoulders, notice my right forearm is on top of my left, or my elbows are pointed much more to the left. Well, this club, as I swing it, is really going to follow my elbows, and it's going to be much more in to out. And then, since I have the stronger grip and I have that squaring component, it's going to help me to shoot the ball this way and have some draw spin induced on it. So we're going to make these setup adjustments. I'm going to get a stronger grip. I'm going to hit one here for you. So my path with my driver tends to be pretty neutral. If anything, maybe a little outside in. So I hit a pretty straight shot. Maybe it has just a little bit of fade to it. That's just my natural shot. And I can throw some numbers up there. I hit a one or two shots to warm up, so I'll throw it up there now so you can see kind of my base pattern, about 3 degrees outside in, and that's going to produce like a straightish, maybe just little fadey sort of shot, because again, I'm moving across the golf ball this way, and so that'll induce more fade versus draw spin. So I'm going to make these changes I just suggested. I am going to get my grip much stronger. I am going to close my shoulders, so I'm pointing them much more to left field. Don't even mind to see you drop your left foot a little bit. Again, that just helps me to get the club a little more from the inside. And I'm going to go ahead and hit one. And that ball definitely had some draw to it, probably a little more than I would like to see when I'm playing. And I'll throw these numbers up there so you can see them. Definitely that path was more from the inside. Face may have been a little closed because I really cranked my grip, but what I want to talk about here, and you've heard me say it in other videos, is self-discovery and experimentation is super important in golf. And if I can get this thing almost hooking or diving right, well, now I can, okay, I'm not going to go quite so strong with my grip. I'm not going to go quite so much inside out, but I can start to self-correct and make some adjustments that will help me to hit the tight little draw that I'm looking for here. So let's do that one more time. I'm going to go a little stronger with the grip, both hands moving them away from the target. I'm going to close my shoulders. As I close my shoulders, maybe drop this left foot back a little bit. And I'm just going to work on getting that club more into out. So that was nice and high, started at the target and drew. So that would be more of a desirable draw shot that I would want to see on the golf course, much more playable than the first one. But just through some experimenting, some self-discovery, I got to that shot. Okay, so those are setup things that we can do to help us hit a draw. But you might make those setup changes and you're like, yeah, the ball's still not quite drawing. It's more of a straight ball flight, or it's not fading as much or slicing as much as it used to, but I'm really not into the draw yet. So the last thing I want to talk about is controlling the trajectory of the lead arm. The lead arm, remember, is the one closest to the target. For me, it's going to be my right arm. One thing that makes it really easy to get this club moving in to out is if I control this right arm by taking it across my chest, so much more to the inside, and then from there you can see how I'm flinging it out to the left. And a lot of people have a hard time with this concept. They're like, well, if I do that, Mark, and I swing out that direction and try to get the club head to go out there, well, the ball's just going to go left. Remember the ball flight laws. As long as my club face is pointed that way, I could swing directly left at this tree that's right in front of me here. You can't see it on camera. I could swing directly left if I wanted to, as long as when I touch the ball, the face is pointed that way, that ball is going to go that way. Now, all this that I'm creating across the back of the ball, it won't be a draw. I'm going to see a violent hook, a duck hook. But I think that's a very important and hard concept to grasp. But if I can get that left arm across my body and fling it out to the right with my strong grip and my closed shoulders, maybe stance closed a little bit, I'll definitely create a draw. Might even be more than a draw. I might get into a hook, but through self-discovery and experimentation, you can get it back to where you want. So understanding that the trajectory of the left arm really controls the geometry of the golf swing. If this, or the lead arm, excuse me, not the left, it would be my right arm. It'd be your left arm if you were a righty. If I get it high, okay, the tendency from here is I'm going to want to swing down and across it, unless I'm somebody who reroutes the club, and not many people do that naturally. Furyk would be somebody who does. If I can get that lead arm more across my body and then out to the left, that's going to help me move or shift that path out to the left. Now I've got my strong grip. That'll square the club face. I'm going to see a nice high draw. So I'm just going to add that element to this next swing. So I got my strong grip. I'm going to close my shoulders, and I'm going to really work on getting that left arm, or excuse me, my lead arm, my right arm, across my body and then out to the left. And I'll put that up on the screen. That was more than a draw there. It was an aggressive draw. It wasn't quite a hook, but it was aggressive draw. And so from now, I can just start to, okay, I'm not going to go quite so violently across my body with that lead arm, or I'm not going to go out to the left so much, or I'm going to back off on the grip. But from here, I can go ahead and self-discover and find how to hit a draw with the driver in golf. So now you know how to draw the driver in golf. I gave you some simple setup things. Strengthen that grip, close those shoulders, as well as a swing adjustment, just getting that lead arm lower across your body, fling it out, and it'll help you to draw the ball every time. So I have 2 more videos up here right now that I promise will continue to help you improve your game. And remember, please like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, thank me, and comment.